Hello. In this little tutorial I want to show you step by step what we can go through to create a drop shadow. To begin, we go over here to the layers panel and we need to duplicate this layer. So we can do that by either right clicking on that and selecting duplicate layer, or we can do the keyboard controls, which are Control J. That's what I've just done. We created a second layer here. We'll be working with it, and this step is necessary for the drop shadow process to work. So to begin, we have to have something behind the picture for the shadow to appear on, and that's called a canvas. And as it stands now, the canvas is exactly the same size as this picture. So to change that, we go over here to Image and Resize Canvas. We want to go to Canvas Resize here, Canvas Size it's called. Click on that and it shows us it's exactly the same size as this picture, 22 by 16 approximately. You can overshoot the estimate of how big you want to make it with the canvas larger, and then crop it if you want to. So this is not critical. So let's just estimate 4 inches maybe on each dimension here. So from 22 we'll go to 26, change that to 6, and change 16 to, let's go 20. So we've increased the height and the width by 4 inches, and this selection here assures that the white will be equal on all 4 sides from the center, and we've chosen white. So with that done, we hit OK, and that gives us our canvas, our background for the shadow to appear on. So far we've duplicated over here our layer. We've increased the size of the canvas. Third step is to go to Layer, Layer Style, and Style Settings, which brings these options up. With this little clock-like symbol, we can set the direction of the light for the shadow. This indicates that the light will be coming from the top right and going toward the bottom left on the shadow. And you can change that if it doesn't look the way you want it to. You can change that after we see the shadow appear. So let's select Drop Shadow. That brings up these 3 options that are highlighted here: size, distance, and opacity. I like to start with distance because that shows the shadow first. So watch the picture there and you'll see a shadow appear. The more I go to the right, the larger the shadow appears, and I'd say that's approximately correct. So there you see the shadow falling off to the left and to the bottom, because that's the way we have the light set. So that was the distance. Opacity decides how light or dark the shadow is. Go to the right and it turns it darker. Go to the left, a little lighter. With this very dark image here, I think I'll go a little bit lighter on the shadow. And the size, actually they call it size, but I call it sharp or unsharp, because it changes how sharp-edged the shadow is. So I'll go to the right here as you watch the shadow, and it becomes more soft. That gives it an appearance that there's a soft light, like a room light, rather than a bright sunlight on the picture, casting a soft shadow. And you can adjust that also. So basically that's how you make a drop shadow. If you want to go one step further, especially if you have a dark picture, dark on the edges, now this is a bonus, you can do it or not do it. The steps we've done is already how to create a drop shadow. But you can go one step further and choose stroke. And stroke since we have our color selector here, we can change that, and we want to go opposite of black there, so we're going to go white. And what stroke does, I'll exaggerate here so you can see. See what it does? Adds a white border more or less. But if we go just minutely to the right, like that, it adds a tiny little white strip here and here, and of course it's also here in the top, but you don't see it because of the white behind it. So that helps to separate the picture from the shadow. That's just an extra. So actually the steps we went through just for creating the drop shadow was step 1, duplicate the layer. We did that. Step 2, we brought a canvas in behind the image, and we did that by going to image, resize, and canvas size. Once we had the canvas, we went back to the layer panel here, chose layer style settings, and that brought this up, and we adjusted the distance, opacity, and the size. So that's how you make a drop shadow.